There comes a moment when you realize that dreaming is no longer enough. You've read the books, listened to the podcasts, watched the motivational videos, and yet something still feels missing. You're working hard, you're trying your best, but deep down, you know you're not where you could be. You start wondering, what's the secret? Why do some people seem to move forward with unstoppable momentum while others keep running in circles, stuck in the same place, no matter how much effort they give? The truth, as Eric Worre once said, is not hidden behind luck or talent. It's built on something far more powerful. My world changed when I started focusing on the skills and made the commitment to practice, 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 until I mastered them. That one line holds the foundation of every success story ever written. Because the difference between the ordinary and the extraordinary isn't a miracle. It's mastery. Mastery doesn't happen overnight. It's not a gift you're born with. It's a decision you make when you're tired of waiting for change to happen. It's what turns average people into experts. It's what transforms fear into confidence and hesitation into instinct. Most people never experience mastery because they quit too soon. They stop when things get hard. They walk away when no one notices their effort. They give up right before the magic begins. But mastery doesn't care about applause. It doesn't care who's watching. It's born in silence, in the late nights when no one's cheering, in the early mornings when you're tired but still show up. It's born in repetition, in discipline, in the boring, unglamorous grind that no one else sees. That's the price of greatness. It's not the highlight reels, it's the practice tapes. It's the hundreds of times you failed before you got it right. It's the quiet decision to keep going when giving up would be easier. Eric Worre wasn't born successful. He didn't start as a confident speaker or a powerful leader. He was nervous, unsure, and often frustrated. He faced rejection after rejection. He failed, doubted himself, and questioned if he was meant for this at all. But one day, he made a shift. Instead of asking, "Why isn't this working for me?" he asked, "What skill am I missing?" That question changed everything. Because when you shift your focus from results to skills, from frustration to learning, you take control. You stop blaming the world. You stop waiting for luck. You stop seeing failure as defeat and start seeing it as data. That's when growth begins. Every failure becomes a teacher. Every rejection becomes a mirror showing where you need to improve. Every mistake becomes a message saying, there's still something to learn. And when you practice long enough, you realize that mastery is not punishment. It's preparation. It's how life gets you ready for the moments that matter most. The first time you try something, it's awkward. The second time, it's messy. The third time, it's still hard. But the 100th time, something changes. You stop overthinking. You stop hesitating. Your body knows what to do. Your mind trusts itself. That's mastery, when repetition turns effort into instinct. Imagine waking up one morning and realizing that the things that once scared you no longer control you. You speak with confidence. You move with purpose. You act with clarity. Not because life became easier, but because you became stronger. That's what mastery gives you. Freedom. Freedom from fear. Freedom from hesitation. Freedom from doubt. You no longer wait for motivation because discipline carries you through. You no longer fear failure because you've seen it before, and you know it doesn't break you. It builds you. People will start to notice. They'll say you're talented. They'll call you lucky. But you'll know the truth. It wasn't luck. It was repetition. It was patience. It was practice. It was every hour spent improving when no one was watching. It was every moment you said, "I'll try again," instead of "I give up." You'll know that success is not something you chase. It's something you attract by becoming the kind of person who deserves it. You earn it through daily work, daily pain, daily growth. Eric Worre understood this deeply. He treated success like a profession, not a hobby. He studied communication, leadership, rejection, and influence. He learned how to connect, how to inspire, how to lead with integrity. He practiced every day until his words carried weight and his confidence became contagious. He stayed long enough to get good. Most people never do. They stop when it's hard. They stop when it's boring. They stop when they don't see instant results. But the truth is, mastery is the reward for those who stay. We live in a world addicted to quick results. Everyone wants success, but no one wants the practice. Everyone wants confidence, but few want the repetition it takes to build it. Practice isn't pretty. It's filled with mistakes, self-doubt, and frustration. But each repetition plants a seed. Each mistake teaches you something new. Each setback pushes you closer to breakthrough. Every single time you show up, you're building a new version of yourself. The most successful people in the world aren't the most gifted. They're the most consistent. They don't chase motivation. They chase mastery. Motivation fades. Mastery remains. Because once you master a skill, it becomes part of you. You can take it anywhere. You can rebuild from nothing. You become your own safety net. That's why practice is freedom. It gives you something no one can take away. Competence, confidence, control. Ask yourself right now, what's the one skill that could change everything for you if you just committed to practicing it every single day? Is it communication? Discipline? Focus? Courage? Whatever it is, that's your starting point. Because every dream you've ever had is connected to a skill you haven't yet mastered. And the moment you decide to master it, your world begins to change. Don't wait for the perfect time. It doesn't exist. Don't wait for motivation. It won't last. Start small. Start messy. Start now. Every repetition counts. Every failure counts. Every day you practice, you're building momentum. And that momentum compounds. It grows silently until one day everyone sees what you've built and calls it an overnight success. But you'll know it wasn't overnight. It was years of repetition, years of faith, years of practice. Remember Eric's words. My world changed when I started focusing on the skills and made the commitment to practice, practice, practice until I mastered them. He wasn't talking about perfection. He was talking about progress, about showing up again and again until the old version of you no longer exists, until you've replaced fear with faith and hesitation with habit. This is your time to do the same. Your breakthrough won't come from waiting. It will come from working. From building yourself piece by piece. From choosing progress over pride. From learning until you can teach, practicing until you can't forget, and believing until it becomes real. Mastery is the bridge between who you are and who you're meant to be. Every minute spent practicing is a step closer to that version of you that doesn't give up, doesn't doubt, doesn't break. So keep going, even when it hurts, even when you're tired, even when it feels pointless, because one day the effort that once felt invisible will become undeniable. And when that day comes, you'll understand what true success feels like. It's not applause. It's not fame. It's not money. It's peace. The peace that comes from knowing you did the work, that you kept your promises to yourself, that you didn't quit when it got hard, that you turned practice into power. So wherever you are right now, take a deep breath and remind yourself, you are not behind. You are in practice. Every setback, every failure, every repetition is shaping you into someone unstoppable. Don't compare your chapter 1 to someone's chapter 20. Just keep practicing. Keep building. Keep showing up. One day, you'll look back and realize that this season of struggle was the season that built you. The late nights, the doubts, the endless repetition, they were not wasted. They were sculpting your strength. They were preparing your success. And when that moment comes, you'll stand taller. You'll smile. You'll remember Eric's words and whisper to yourself, "My world changed when I started practicing." And you'll know, yours just did too. So don't stop now. Keep practicing. Keep learning. Keep growing. Because mastery is not about being the best. It's about becoming better than you were yesterday. And if this message lit a spark inside you, don't let it fade. Subscribe, not for the numbers, but for the journey. Because we're building a community of people who don't give up. People who show up. People who practice until they win. And you, my friend, are one of them.